In this video tutorial, we will be looking at auto text. We'll talk about where the auto text is and what it is. All right, here's the speech and language report. So I'm going to scroll down just a little bit because we don't need auto text for the student information section. We don't need auto text for the report information section, but you will need auto text to fill in observations, parent student teacher input, MTSS or therapy data, as well as evaluation results, and possibly the summary statement section if you want to use that part, which I'll show you. So auto text is this great feature that allows me to program statements, paragraphs, tables, graphs, charts, and save them, and you can access them on your computer with this document. So hopefully it will save us from having to retype out information, and it will create some consistency between our reports. So there are two ways to find auto text. The first one is my favorite, which is up here in the top left corner area. There's this little symbol and an arrow. When you click on the arrow, you'll notice that the auto text appears. I'll scroll through this list and show you all of those in just a minute. So you can access auto text right up here, or you can also go to Insert, Quick Parts, Auto Text, and it's over there. Now on some computers that when I've opened this report, this ribbon seems to be more condensed, and it doesn't actually say quick parts, the term quick parts. It doesn't say that on some versions of Word, I guess, or computers, but you'll still kind of see this text box area, you'll see the symbols and stuff like that, and I'm quite confident that you can scroll around the insert section and realize that it's over here. So anyway, so quick parts, auto text. So those are the two ways. You've got it up here or through the insert tab. So let's take a look at some of the auto text. All right. So within auto text, it's organized alphabetically by category, and a category is a gray section right here. Okay, so this first category is bilingual. For a majority of report users, you will not be using this section, but I did have a great opportunity to get together with the bilingual team and create some auto text for them. So under the bilingual section, you'll see there's one for the Self 4, Spanish Record Form 1, Self 4, Spanish Record Form 2, Self P2 Spanish. And I've tried to include the word Spanish in the title of the auto text to help key you in that it is the Spanish one, and for most of us we won't be using that. So I'm going to scroll down. We're still in the Spanish category, Self P2 Spanish, Narrative Analysis Bilingual, PLS 5 Spanish, SAM bilingual, SLAP articulation bilingual, SLAP articulation, oh, I just said that one, sorry. The SLAP language bilingual, and a summary introduction for bilingual. So now we're getting into a new category, and that category is fluency. It's a gray area, okay, so it's a category, fluency. You have fluency observations, fluency SSI 3, fluency student interview observation, fluency summary statement, fluency within normal limits. All right, and our next category is general. There's a blank bar graph that you could use with a test. If, for example, a test you completed wasn't listed in here and you wanted to put a bar graph in, here's a blank one for you. There's a summary introduction. And then we get down to the language category. You have the Self 5 Record Form 1, Self 5 Record Form 2, Self P2, the LPT 3, a narrative analysis, a PLS 5, the TOPS revised, and now we're in the MTSS category. There's the Self 5 language screener, just a general MTSS statement. This is the observations checklist category. There's a behavioral observation statement, Self-P2 descriptive pragmatics profile, Self-P2 pre-literacy rating scale, the classroom observation for language, a CPA, documented observations, DORS primitive speech acts, an ORS, pragmatic observation form, speech parent-guardian checklist, speech interview, student interview observation, speech teacher checklist, and then we go down into the speech and articulation category where we've got the articulation quick screening, the CAP, the GFTA2, intelligibility rating, the Conn-Lewis, and an oral peripheral examination. I believe this is the last category, and that's voice, voice non-technical evaluation, voice observation form, voice physician's report, voice student interview observation, voice within normal limits, and a voice worksheet. So these are the auto texts. Again, they're up here, or you can go to insert quick parts, auto text, and all the same ones are right over here. So that's where they are. I think we should go ahead and take a look at them, and there's a few in particular that I want to show you in this video tutorial. So let's see, what would be a good one to show you guys? Let's look at some of the summary statements. I know I've had a couple questions about those, so I'd like to address those. I'm going to go to the summary statement section. You can see there's this that's already in there. It's always going to be there. But I'm going to click right over here, put my cursor here because that's where I want my auto text to populate. And I'm going to go down to the general category, and it says summary introduction. You don't have to use this. I find it helpful, and when I write my reports, I'll probably use it. So you're going to click on the auto text you want, and it's going to populate. It pushes your page down to the bottom of the auto text, and you can see that this information here, these two lines and this line populated. So here you can fill in some basic kind of student information. It's a nice summary introduction. You type in the student's name, their year, how old they are in years and months, and you choose whether they're a boy or a girl, and then you can indicate what type of report or evaluation was completed, initial, a reeval, or a summary. And you can also indicate what area: articulation, phonology, language, fluency, articulation and language, speech and language, articulation and fluency. After review of the general education data, concerns from the classroom teacher. Okay, you've got a lot of choices here. And I just want to remind you that you can type in anything you want. If you see that what you want isn't already listed, you can type it in. The student does or does not demonstrate academic difficulties within the classroom setting. So that's the, under the general category, it's a summary introduction. So if you want to put that in there, you can, and you can put it in before this based on statement. This statement is already in the report. It's already there for you. So if you wanted to, you could add in this little introduction part as well. It's not pre-programmed into the report to be there for everybody because there's one for bilingual, there's one for fluency. I think those are the ones we have right now. So that's just a general summary statement. I'm going to click undo to make it go away so I can show you a couple other examples. Let's see. How about the blank bar graph. This is something new. I had a couple of requests for this, and I thought I'd give you guys the option if you wanted to. So I'm going to click on blank bar graph, and you can see it it just populated a blank bar graph that you can go ahead and put your own information into if you would like to. So there's a video tutorial that talks about how to enter in information into these bar graphs, and I would refer you back to that so that you can figure out how to do that. I think those were all the really important things I wanted to show you in this video tutorial about auto text. It's really important that you remember that because these auto texts have features like text boxes such as fill in or drop down or summary, or fill in, date, or drop down, you can't delete them. And I'll give you an example. I'm going to click on narrative analysis. Okay, so this narrative analysis auto text has text boxes. Okay, there's a couple of them right here. These text boxes for all auto text for the whole report have been programmed so that you cannot delete them. It's been discussed that there will be more problems if you're allowed to delete them because you won't be able to get them back. So if you accidentally clicked on narrative analysis and you didn't mean to, then you need to click undo so that it will go away. I'm just going to redo that to show you. So you got this auto text, and there are these features that can't be deleted. So you can't just highlight this and press delete. Well, the T will go away, but the text boxes themselves won't go away because they've been programmed to stay there. So you're going to have to click undo until it goes away. So that's something really important that you should remember, and that's why I've encouraged SLPs that I've been talking to and even making some comments on my YouTube channel that before you actually have to sit down and write a report, it would be really helpful to just open up the report and take a look and play around with it so you become more familiar with it. So you have time to ask me questions and I can get back to you, and so you run into as few problems as possible. So thank you so much for watching. I know this was a longer video, but I appreciate it, and I hope that this was a little bit more informative about auto text. Thanks.